I'll ask the clerk for a roll call, please.
Supervisor Flores,
Present.
Supervisor Ziegenmeyer, Supervisor Baines,
Present.
Supervisor Stevens,
Here. Okay, all present except for Supervisor Boone then, and if everyone would please rise and join us in an invocation by my friend Doug Smith, who's here from Hope Point Nazarene, followed by the pledge, remain standing, and then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Johnny Burke.
Let's pray. Thank you, God, for this opportunity to gather here today. We pray for guidance and direction. We want to be a part of something special in this city. And so just guide and direct us, Jesus, in your name. Thank you for all the people that are here today and all of our leaders. We just pray for them as well. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. And now I'll have Johnny Burke lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready? Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Please be seated. And except for the supervisors. And I'll ask supervisors to join me up front here for some presentations.
will Brian Davis please join the board to receive a gold resolution in honor of your service to the community?
I think Mr. Davis has a fan club, so. All right. I have something to read for you. Thank you for coming up. It is with great admiration and appreciation that we recognize Brian Davis, a devoted community leader and founder of Be Extra, whose selfless service and creative passion have left a lasting and meaningful impact on the Yuba Sutter region and beyond. Originally from Lansing, Michigan, Brian has made Yuba City his home, where he has flourished as a highly skilled drone pilot, a videographer, and storyteller, using his craft not only to entertain and inspire, but also to uplift the lives of others through visual storytelling and community outreach. In tandem with his creative work, Brian founded Be Extra, a nonprofit corporation born from a heartfelt sneaker donation program that began in 2020, originally aimed at supporting victims of regional wildfires, and has since expanded into a multifaceted charitable organization. Through Be Extra, Brian and his team have exemplified the true meaning of community service by collecting and donating hundreds of pairs of sneakers, sweatshirts, food, and blankets to individuals and families in need, including a notable 250-pair sneaker drive in celebration of his 52nd birthday. All right, that's awesome. All powered by the proceeds of their vibrant events, video services, and rentals. Be Extra seamlessly integrates entertainment with impact, offering immersive event services including 360 video photo booths, drone work, cold sparkler machines, glam booths, cloud effects, and more, while channeling every dollar earned into charitable initiatives that directly benefit the underserved populations of the Yuba, Sutter, and Colusa area. Brian and Be Extra continue to forge lasting partnerships with local schools, hospitals, nonprofits, and supporters, including the efforts of nursing staff at Adventist Health and Rideout Hospital to deliver clothing, blankets, and care to the most vulnerable among us. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sutter County Board of Supervisors proudly commend Brian Davis for his outstanding leadership, creative excellence, and unwavering dedication to the community. His work serves as an inspiring example of how passion and purpose can come together and create lasting change. Let's give Mr. Davis a round of applause. And we're gonna have a few words.
Y'all know I don't like to talk, right?
That's not true. Can all the Be Extra volunteers stand up? Or anybody that has a piece of Be Extra, Scribe Monkey, you're already standing up. Yeah, can y'all come on up? Because this is
Come on up and join us.
Lincoln and Ann, come on up.
Yeah.
You guys are right here with us.
We need you for the photograph.
Ladies, I see y'all too. Y'all come on up.
I know him.
Okay, before the photo, he has a few more words. We give him a little time limit.
That's it. You got to shut me up after so often. But you can see all these people that came up here, and I said I wasn't gonna cry, but I might. I do. I'm a little sensitive when it comes to that. But this is what Be Extra is these folks that are right here, and every piece of what they do touches the folks that are out there. It's folks that are hot out there right now, folks that are hungry, and these people jump in every single time. And so this is why we do it. It's a whole purpose where we turn pain into purpose. And I always tell people, our volunteers, we're all broken. We all have a story. We all have stuff. But when you put us together, we're all one, and we're helping everybody out there. So I'll be quiet now.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I am going to say a little bit. So I love this guy. I've worked with him, and I took a trip to North Carolina to drop off food and clothing and I rode with this guy for 18 hours, and I can still say I love him. He's a great guy. So.
Okay, awesome. Any other comments? Okay, great. Then we're ready for the photo op. And look at Jamie here. She's our professional photographer. You got everybody, Jamie? Or you need us to get a little closer, or what do you need? Everybody needs to compact up. Let's go.
Places. I'm gonna go find a
Come on over.
No way. Told you.
Okay, awesome. Huge round of applause for this group. Thank you very much. Thank you, brother.
Will Noel Grove, Monique Martinez, Ryan Huff, Art Rivera, Juan Robles, Mitchell Perigo, Eve Martinez, Euritzi Garcia, Sofia Rivera, Juliana Robles, Mackenzie Bull, Riley Perigo, Aaliyah Pacquiao, Athena Huff, Charlotte Dudek, Delilah Smith, Avelia Martinez, Adelina Tapia. Please join the board.
All right. Good to see you. Good to see you.
To receive recognition for winning the 2025 Northern California Little League State Championships.
Congrats. Congratulations. Okay, this is going to take us. This take us just a minute here. Supervisor Ziegemeier is passing out the. Oh, perfect. The speaker is here. He waited for the grand entry. So, Supervisor Boone, come up here. You're going to be the main man. No, you're not actually the main person. The team is. But you come up and you can say a few words. And, you know, this is basically, but this is your team, our team, you know, for Sutter County. And we're going to have live oak. Yeah, live oak. But we want, first, Supervisor Ziegemeier is going to finish passing these out. And then Supervisor Baines is holding the plaque that you can present, okay? And this is Supervisor Boone's district, so he is the one. Okay, here you go, Supervisor.
All right. Well, this guy right here, Noel Grove. How you doing, Noel?
Good, good.
This is for the Live Oak Little League. He's the president. I put 25 years in the Live Oak Little League as playing in his position. And he took over where I left off, and here we are today. We've got Mr. Perigo down there on the end. I coached a Little League team against him when he was about 10 years old, I think, something like that. So it goes back quite a few years. And these kids, I'm telling you, I don't have any kids, so Little League was my family, and it always has been. It's in my heart, and you don't know how proud I am of you girls, all of you. You're my family. It's the most important thing to have gotten so far. I took the boys to the Little League Championship, but we never got as far as you did, and I was like, wow. And I thought, you know, this is going to be great, and I wanted to make sure that you all came and showed up today, and we were able to present you all with a little certificate that you can hang up on your wall, and maybe when you go off to college one day, you'll take that with you and hang that on your wall and know where your hometown's from, and we really, really appreciate you. I want you to know that. It means the world to me for you guys to be here today and done what you did. I mean, I know all of you, I watched you, I see we got a few missing today, but it's okay. They're gonna get their awards, and I understand because I was a little late today too, and so I got here as soon as I could. Trust me, I was probably doing things I shouldn't have been doing, but I got here. And thank you so much for everything, and Noel Grove, for taking on these girls, for the whole Little League in its whole. I mean, it's a lot of work. Yeah. I know what it is. And he's supported by his wife, Kathy, and I'll tell you, if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't be here either, so. Okay, here you go. How about a few words, Noel?
Well, yeah, I'm president of this league, but that's because nobody else wanted it. But this team here is more than just a softball team. They're a softball family. And these girls have really played their hearts out all year long, and these coaches are amazing. So this has nothing to do with me. This is all about them.
Mr. Perigo, you got a few words you'd like to say?
Yeah, what these girls have done is pretty outstanding. Me and Coach Art, we've been really trying to just win a banner for our league. Last year, some of these girls were on the all-star team that won the first district banner. And then this year, of course, we won the district, the Shasta sections, and then the Northern California State Championship. So yeah, these girls really are pretty amazing. So great job, ladies.
Art, would you like to say something? You're good? How about a couple, you want to say something? No. Anybody here? I know this one's not bashful. No? Well, I just like one other quick note. When I was a little kid, about 7 years old, my older sister wanted to play softball. We only had hardball out there for us minor leaguers, and I had to be 8 years old to get in, right? So I had to wait a whole nother year, but my sister was a year ahead of me. And at that point in time, whether Noel was around or not, but the girls' softball field was the parking lot, a dirt parking lot. And so my mother, she kind of ruled with a heavy stick. She told my dad, we're going to get out there and we're going to make that softball field. And sure enough, we did. But unfortunately, there was no other girls' teams. It was back in 1967, I believe, 68. So they had a small backstop. I remember it well because I had to be out there. Small backstop with chain link fence across it and a couple of benches on either side of the baselines. But that's where it all started, and the girls from Live Oak had to drive to Sacramento to play because there wasn't any other teams. So this has come a long, long way, and it really means the world to me, and thank you so much for coming out and putting Live Oak on the map and Sutter County. Woohoo!
All right. Okay, we're going to need you to get in close for this. We have our professional photographer here today. So
we got a new one. FLPL officer.
All right, and then from Sutter County, let's give them a real big round of applause. So we're just proud from Sutter County all together. Thank you, guys. Yes, good job.
Here, give it here. There we go.
Great job. Keep it up, man.
Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Let's let them exit here for a minute. Okay, comment on public comment. Members of the public will be allowed to address the board on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. State law provides that no discussion or action may be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. We'll move on to consent. Oh, first, are there any public comments? Sorry.
Yes, we have 3. The first is Maggie Walker.
Maggie.
Go Wheelers. Oh. Hi, I'm Maggie Walker. I'm just here to promote the High Wheelers baseball team here in the Yuba Sutter area. I'm a fan tonight, but I am also an employee. They don't know I'm doing this, but that's okay. We have 2 weeks left in our season, and this is a big week. We're playing the
Oakland Ballers.
Oakland Ballers. Beat the Bay. That's a big thing. Supervisor
That's right.
Horace is always out there. And Supervisor Stevens, you know. But this week they're doing, tonight is what they call back to school night. And it's $2 to get in the game, $2 brew, guys. And then $2 hot dogs. And then tomorrow night is appreciation for the military, anybody with their, and first responders, anybody with their IDs, they're getting into the game free. And then tomorrow, Thursday night is Thirsty Thursday, an Oktoberfest. And it's night, and they're gonna auction off some jerseys of the players. And then Friday night is, of course, is the good old fireworks night. Brings a lot of crowds, and the kids are there. We got somebody with a Wheelers hat here in the audience. Yeah, go Wheelers. And then Saturday is the first 200 guests in the ballpark get signed baseball by all the players. And then the family night is Sunday, and the kids run the bases. And Supervisor Flores, you said.
I just wanted to mention tonight, too, they're going to have a few food trucks, and they're have a happy hour that starts at 6 o'clock. I think it's a company called NorCal Ciders is sponsoring the game tonight. But like Maggie said, the tickets are $2, so, you know, you want to show up to the game. But I just want to say, Maggie, you do an awesome job out there. So thank you for all you do. You know,
Thank you.
She's like the biggest fan, you know.
We got to beat the Bay. That's a big thing this week.
Okay.
I also want to add, she mentioned Ogtober, not yeah,
October, love it,
We
yeah.
got her cleared. October, she's got it, so.
Well, Supervisor Stevens and I are out there quite a bit, and then we get to see Maggie, though. We love seeing your happy face when we walk in, and you're always cheering us on and making things happen. So thank you for your comments. Next public speaker.
The next speaker is Joey Rowland.
Hi, Joey.
Bear with me, I've never given a public speech before. So, good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Joey Rowland, and I'm here today not just as a local resident and small business owner, but as someone who believes in the power of simple ideas to bring joy, community, and opportunity. I'm here to talk about dirty sodas that aren't complicated but are loved and new to the area. For those unfamiliar what a dirty soda is, it's a plastic cup filled with ice, a can of soda, a splash of cream, and a couple pumps of flavored syrup. No cooking, no food prep, no espresso machine, no dishwashing station. Just a refreshing beverage made from sealed, long-lasting ingredients. And yet, under current county regulations, we're being asked to meet the same infrastructure requirements as a full-scale restaurant or coffee shop. That means commercial-grade sinks, food prep stations, janitorial setups, and more. These requirements are not just excessive, they're a barrier to entry, and they're especially burdensome for those who simply want to add dirty sodas as a small side offering in an already existing business. I can't read this, but anyways, at the end of the day, this much cream right here is requiring me to be a Starbucks. I'm a local business owner, I do taxes, and to put a 6-foot table in my office, because of this, I need to look like a Starbucks. I just don't think that it's right. And Mr. Ziegemeyer, I live in your district, so I'm hoping that me and you can have a conversation.
That's it.
Appreciate your comments. And then if I could have a staff member just go ahead and make sure we get his contact information, and then I'm sure Supervisor Ziegemeier will follow up as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Our last speaker is Tony Farley.
Who? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Hi, Tony.
Farley, Norfolk City, 28 Wilkie Drive. Thank Brian Davis, Lansing, Michigan, man. The Sacramento Lansing, like a Sacramento almost there. It's like a small Sacramento, Lansing, Michigan. Marysville, Sacramento, Lansing. Tony Farley here. Thank every first service. Thank the sheriff's deputy cadet over here for his service. Thank High Wheeler for his service. Thank the Filipino lady over here for her service. Thank Zachary Hamble, Emergency Management for his service. Thank you, Ad Commissioner for her service. Thank you, Veronica, the hero HR lady for her service. Thank you, Laura for her service. Thank you, Bill William, the attorney, president for her service. Thank you, the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps hoorah guy for his service. Thank you, the BMW guy for his service. Thank you, Neil for his service. Thank you, Sarah Rios for her service. Thank you, the Hampton guy for his service. Thank you, the Sackville B for her service. Media. Thank you, Jamie for her service. Thank you, Johnny, the reserve officer Johnny for his service. Thank you, Tina Hessel for her service. Thank you, Ziegemeier, Jeff Stevens, Dan Flores, Carmen Baines, and Jeff Boone for his service. And thank you, Stephanie and Gina for his service. And thank you, and thank you, little Deborah over here for her service for the high wheelers. Beat the Bay Area, man. Go beat the Bay Area.
All right.
And thank you, librarian for her service. Thank you for your service.
Okay, Tony, thank you for your comments. Any further guest speakers? Okay, there being no further guest speakers, we'll move on to the consent calendar. The consent calendar groups together those items which are considered non-controversial, for which prior policy direction has been given to staff, and that are required only routine action by the board. The chair will advise the audience that the matters may be adopted in total or by one motion. However, the board may, at its option or upon request of a member of the public, consider any matter separately. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Okay, have a first by Supervisor Baines.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Stevens. Sorry, he beat you there, Boone. And we'll okay. And then we'll take a roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Boone.
Aye.
Supervisor Flores.
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeier.
Aye.
Supervisor Baines.
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. The ayes have it, and we'll move on now to appearance items.
Presentation from the Sutter Yuba Homeless Consortium.
Well, good afternoon, supervisors. Good to see everybody here today. And so thankful for the opportunity to share something new and exciting with you. This is at the request and invitation by Supervisor Stevens, who was at a presentation at our in-person stakeholders meeting that was back in June over at Brian Davis's Be Extra Community Event Center. And there we premiered a video about our new Youth Action Board. And I just want to tell you that the conversation about a youth action board started a couple years ago, and Yuba County Office of Education and Sutter County Superintendent of Schools have really taken the ball and rolled with it to be able to connect with students that they met through the school year and beyond that were either currently homeless or had lived experience in being homeless. And so they helped to gather some folks to get some input, and you'll get a chance to see some folks in the actual video, and then some of them are here present today. And these representatives of our community are doing their best to share their experience and their ideas to be able to inform us on making decisions on how to address homelessness specifically among youth. The whole conversation about a youth action board started a couple years ago when we realized a couple things. We didn't have one. Other areas had one. Other areas that were successful in addressing youth homelessness had a youth action board with lived experience so that it could inform decisions. It also makes you eligible for other federal and state grants grants as well, because it's an important piece of the puzzle of trying to figure out how to address homelessness among youth. And in our area, we looked at our numbers, and typically we look at our point in time count numbers. Those seem to be our main reference point. And so every year we look at point in time count numbers, and we would just have a couple handfuls of folks that fell into the unaccompanied minor category. And the unaccompanied minor is anyone under 25 years of age who literally is on their own without another adult with them. And so we figured we didn't have much of an issue, at least from a consortium standpoint. But then we started talking to the school systems, and their homeless liaison representatives were meeting with students who didn't fall under, and you'll hear a little bit about this in the video, the normal housing and urban development statute for what is homeless. But they were meeting lots of kids who were couch surfing or doubled up with other families, and a ton of kids in our area. In the video, you'll hear me mention that last year it was 1 in 30 kids in both Yuba and Sutter counties that falls into that category. The number this year with updated numbers is now at 1 in 25. And so we realize we do have homeless youth in our area, and how to address it, no better way to start than by talking to folks that have lived there, can give their input. And so with that, we have a video we'd like to share with you that the clerk here will put up, and you guys don't have to hear me talk. So
welcome and thank you for being here. Our Youth Advisory Board was created to shine a light on unaccompanied homeless youth in Yuba and Sutter counties, a population that is too often overlooked. This bi-county effort brings young voices and community partners together to raise awareness, guide solutions, and ensure no youth is left to navigate homelessness alone. Together, we're building a stronger, more responsive support system, one that listens, learns, and leads with compassion.
My name is Johnny Burke, and I'm the Executive Director for the Sutter Yuba Homeless Consortium. Our organization serves as what's known as the Continuum of Care for both Yuba and Sutter counties. The Continuum of Care program is a program that goes through Housing and Urban Development, which is the nationwide organization that keeps track of all statistics on folks that are looking for housing or experiencing homelessness and a variety of different things. Every year we do a point-in-time count where we go out and do a survey with every person that's experiencing homelessness in Yuba and Sutter County. And for years we've used the HUD definition of homelessness, which is threefold: either someone living in an emergency shelter, someone living outside in a place not meant for human habitation, or someone fleeing domestic violence. Every time we've done a point-in-time count, we typically end up with a couple handfuls of folks that fall into the youth category out of roughly 1,000 people in our bi-county area that are experiencing homelessness. Until recently, we've been made aware of the McKinney-Vento statute, which provides a different definition of homelessness, which you'll hear more about later in this video. Through this and then working with the school districts and the homeless liaison representatives for the school districts, we've found that 1 in 30 kids in Yuba and Sutter County experience homelessness. And this has brought it to the forefront of our attention to address in our area.
Hi, my name is Destiny, and I'm from the Sutter Youth Advisory Board. I was living with my dad for about 2 years, and I had gotten forced to get kicked out and forced to move with my mom. I was with her for about a month, and one morning I woke up with my stepdad and her arguing. I grabbed something for self-defense, and I had the cops dialed on my phone. And after that, I moved with one of my guy friends, and I was living with him for about a year, and I had gotten kicked out. I grew up here when I was about 3 or 6 years old, and I went through like a lot of stuff that maybe a lot of people wouldn't find normal. It's weird like having friends, and I'd explain to them a lot of the stuff that I've been through, and they would just like look at me like I was weird. I have so many traumatic memories, like it's crazy, and it's just not normal at all. It's just like, it's completely messed up. But I think I've had a lot of good memories with my siblings too in this house.
Family was experiencing homeless. We went to Hands of Hope, and we got help from them. And me personally, I was so young, I barely remember it. I just remember staying at church, going church to church every night. And then in the summer, the Hands of Hope would stop. Hi, my name is Jackie. Well, a few things that had led to my family being homeless. I feel like we've kind of always been in that situation, you know?
Yeah.
But what had really set it off into that cycle was my father passing, because when he was alive, we had a house. We had
that
place,
stable income home.
And and it was still like kind of like, oh, random people coming through or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a home, and
Exactly.
it worked. And so after that, it was just like, you know, the trailers, all that stuff, and like, I honestly got saved, and kind of instead of like, that's why I never thought that I was actually homeless, because I wasn't physically on the streets sleeping, because
you weren't in your what you thought was homeless. You didn't think that you were.
Hi, my name's Ruby. We don't need housing anymore. And it was like, well, just because it's hot outside doesn't mean I don't need somewhere to sleep. Even though I was like 8, 7 in that age group, it sucked, but I mean, I couldn't do anything about it. I wasn't old enough to even process that I was homeless, let alone didn't know where I was gonna eat my next food. I didn't know when I had my next shoes.
Hi, my name's Nicole. What place would be safe?
Yeah.
Like you have the jungle. The jungle is not actually a safe place. I've been in there. It is full of like aggressive people, tweakers, or people who will do drugs straight out in front of you and everything. And it was not a really great time. So even in the shelters too, it was still dangerous, because you're put with people you don't know.
Yeah.
And with these people you don't know, it's like, okay.
You have to trust some random people. I get it.
And some of these people, they can be tweakers, they can be aggressive. And it's like, okay. So people that should know something about homelessness is it's not easy. And there's not a lot of things there is a lot of things, but not everybody knows that there is a lot of things out there that can help you, like Hands of Hope, the Life Building Center, the Rest, 14 Forward, Better Way, all these shelters and places that help people who are experiencing homelessness.
The thing that got in the way of being housed when I was little probably was the drugs that my mom was on. My mom, she spent all of the money on drugs drugs and the casino. That was the biggest thing, was the casino and the guy that she was with. She would always... I can't get CPS called on me because I'm older enough, so I can take care of myself. But when I was younger, my mom would leave me alone in the house. So I was left in the house alone with nobody besides me. I was in the house by myself. And I remember one day my grandma would come knocking at the door, and me being me, I was told, you don't answer the door for nobody. You don't answer the door for the police. I don't care if it's your grandma. I don't care. You don't answer the door. If you open that door, you're going to get kidnapped. That was my biggest thing, was if you open the door, you're going to get kidnapped. And my grandma banged at the door. Ruby, I know you're in there. Can you open the door? Come on, girl. I know you're in there. Can you please just open the door, Ruby? I'm looking out through the window, and I'm like, I can see her. I'm making eye contact with her. And she's like, open the door. I can't open the door. No. It's not that I'm too short. I can't physically open the door. I was told not to open the door. That girl has passed away now, but I regret not opening that door, because I know she wanted to help me, and she not really to take me away from my mom, but just to get you out of that situation. To show me that there was a better place that I could stay. That I didn't have
life than what you were in.
Exactly. That I didn't have to watch my mom get beat by a grown man.
Like there was a light.
Exactly. That
like
there was
a silver lining kind of thing.
Exactly. That I didn't have to stay and watch all these.
The McKinney-Vento Act defines homeless children and youth as individuals who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. This definition also includes children and youth who are sharing the housing of other persons due to loss of housing, economic hardships, or similar reasons. Children and youth who may live in motels, hotels, trailer parks, shelters. Children and youth who have a primary nighttime residence that is a public or private place, not designated for or ordinarily used as regular sleeping accommodation for human beings. Children and youth who are living in cars, parks, public spaces, abandoned buildings, substandard housing, bus or train stations, or similar settings. Migratory children who qualify as homeless because they are children who are living in similar circumstances listed above.
People at school helped me a lot, and the school already knew I was homeless because they had me fill out a paper. They gave me food packages and stuff that they give out every month, and it was helpful when I first started speaking out about my situation, which I struggled with, because I didn't want to talk about my situation, and it was mostly Miss Jackie that made me comfortable in coming forth, and she appointed me resources to help me get to a point where I had more opportunities and ways to comfortably be at school. Mind over matter, that's really what it is, honestly. Matter is the situation, and mind is how you process it and take it in, as well as how you deal with what is going on. What helps is to categorize. You have to section out parts of your life so you can still be successful and not let what you're going through affect what you can do. This is very important in not weighing yourself down. I feel like your biggest hater and your biggest battle is yourself and mind, so be kind to yourself.
Youth Advisory Board makes me feel so comfortable, and it makes me feel like I don't have to, not only do I not advocate for myself here, I advocate for other people, and it's amazing because I feel like the little things that I am talking about now to you, everybody hears. I know nobody sees this right now, but everybody hears it. So it's really nice to know that the Youth Advisory Board helps me a lot that way, because not only did I listen to it from my dad, learn that I can advocate for myself, from my dad, from my principal, from my school, I also learned it a lot from the Youth Advisory Board, that I can show people who I am, and they don't need to be afraid, and they don't need to be uncomfortable. I used to be homeless, and now look at me. I have a job. I work at the Yuba County One Stop on a grant. I am working as an office assistant. I'm about to be a volunteer at the Pound. Looking back and seeing my old self, I don't know what I would tell her. I would just tell her it's going to get better eventually, but I don't like that word eventually. It's going to get better soon.
We are Youth Advisory Board, and we are excited to be a part of this project.
As we close today, let's remember that real change starts with awareness, but it's sustained through action. The work we're doing through this Youth Advisory Board is just the beginning.
Together across Yuba and Sutter counties, we have the power to amplify youth voices, break cycles of homelessness, and build a future where every young person feels seen, supported, and safe. Thank you for being a part of this effort.
I feel like I was actually a part of a community and somebody actually cared. I know when my mom was on drugs and she didn't have money for nothing, I dreamed about trying on prom dresses, and I was like, I turned 20 and I was like, I still haven't tried on no prom dresses. I haven't tried on nothing. I haven't been a girly girl, and since I haven't been a girly girl ever. So for me to be able to be like, which dress would I like, makes me feel like I have options, makes me feel like I have something that actually is on my side, is in my corner of my fighting little thing.
Yeah, I felt that way too, because that's how it always was for me too, just getting like hand-me-downs or like things, like people just like last minute things, you know, for any like homecomings or whatever. But it's nice, like when we were walking, like we didn't even walk in here yet, we were just like, I was like, Jackie, do you see those dresses? Yeah. It was so cool. They're like, it was like, oh. Yeah. How'd you feel? I feel like a person. Yeah? Like a person, not just like existing, just floating around, just like living life. A particle. Another like random like NPC thing, like a game or whatever. No autopilot over here. I felt like it was our day, kind of. Yeah, that's what it felt like. It's your day.
You ladies look so beautiful.
Yeah, we all have like. Everybody do a twirl. I can't twirl. All of this is just going. She was showing us how.
Right.
So thank you for taking the time to watch that. That video was put together by Brian Davis, whose video exploits you have now seen, and you know how good he is. Those drone footage there's from our our #1 drone footage pilot, right? And this video was put together primarily by folks from Yuba County Office of Education, Sutter County Superintendent of Schools, Marysville Joint Unified School District, Yuba City Unified School District, Wheatland Union District. All the districts contributed, and different representatives came from different schools to be a part of our Youth Action Board. And so we're very excited about hearing stories and some things. We had a community input meeting last week in Marysville for our new application funding round for the state of California for HAP funding, and we had a couple of the representatives of the board there to give some input, and that's exactly what we're looking for, is we want to hear real life stories. And if you listen to all the different testimonies through there, you heard different things that affect folks that lead and contribute to homelessness. You heard about relationship issues. You heard about drug issues. You heard about addiction issues. You heard about a variety of different things, loss of a family member. All these things are the things that contribute to folks becoming homeless in our area. And so they have quite a viewpoint to be able to share with us. And so we're very excited about them and excited about all the work that they're going to help us out with, because my goal is always to have everybody else do all the work and me not to do it. So that's going to be on them. So.
Well, hey, great job. Can you take a moment to introduce the actresses that were on the film? Maybe they can stand up. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I know that I see some familiar faces out in the audience here from the video. So
yeah, and
maybe you guys, if you could stand up.
Yeah, maybe. So Ruby and Jackie and Nicole are here. And they are real people with real stories. Like Nicole said, they're not NPCs. For those of you who don't know who are not gamers, that is a non-player character in a video game. In other words, it
is a real, yeah. So they're not actresses either. They're real. So do you want to come up? And Johnny, if you come up too, we'd like to take a photo with you with the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, and absolutely. Everybody who's been involved in this project, we have several of the homeless liaison representatives here. Specifically, I know Kari Dad is here from Yuba County Office of Ed, Emily Tullis from Sutter County Superintendent of Schools. We have Amy Molina Jones, Virginia Bisbee, a lot of folks here. Teresa Hioki's here.
Please come on up. Amy, come on up. We're going to take a photo with you guys.
Yeah. Full ops. Spec ops. Marine Corps spec ops.
Well, that was awesome. Any questions from the Board of Supervisors or any comments for Johnny sits? No. All right. Well, thank you, Johnny. One more round of applause for this amazing group. Thank you for the work that you do. Okay, we'll move on to the next item.
Receive fiscal year 2024 to 25 report in compliance with AB 2561 and addendum to the Myers-Milius-Brown Act.
Can you hear me? Yep. Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and members of the board. My name is Allison Watkins. I'm an HR analyst, and I'm here representing Human Resources today to present our AB 2561 annual report. So you may know that AB 2561 is a new regulatory obligation regarding local public employees. It tells us that we must come to you annually in a public hearing to report the vacancy rate within each bargaining unit. We should also discuss our recruitment obstacles and any ways to alleviate those obstacles. So if the vacancy rate for any particular bargaining unit is over 20%, we are also required to give you information regarding the job vacancies within those bargaining units, the total number of applicants for those vacant positions, the average number of days to complete a hiring process from the time that a position is posted, and also any opportunities that we identify to improve compensation and other working conditions. For the fiscal year 24-25, none of our bargaining unit vacancy rates hit that 20% mark, so I will not be giving you all of that information, all that extra information today. Today we'll just be going over the vacancy rate and our recruitment challenges. So our first bargaining unit is Sutter County Employees Association. They are by far our largest unit, making up the general, supervisory, and professional units. Together, they total 757 positions, and we had a 15.6% vacancy rate. Next is the Sutter County Peace Officers Association with 54 positions and a 16.7% vacancy rate. The Sutter County Probation Officers Association has 39 positions and had a 17.9% vacancy rate. The Sutter County Professional Firefighters Association with 21 positions and a 19% vacancy rate. And our Sutter County Deputy Sheriff's Association with 93 positions and an 11.8% vacancy rate. So our recruitment and retention challenges, the three main things that we've identified are low wages, a lack of qualified applicants, which we mostly attribute to low wages, and a lack of outlined growth opportunity. So areas for opportunity, these are things that HR is always working with departments to do, but we just wanted to touch on them here. We utilize creative marketing to highlight our positions, our competitive benefits, our retirement, work-life balance, et cetera. We continue to make policy improvements to minimize hurdles and create efficiencies for departments and employees. We are always working to update our job specifications to better align with the market and meet department needs. We have a comprehensive, thanks, Tina. We have a comprehensive training program that we work on all year long to provide lots of opportunities for employees and also create clear career ladders to promote growth opportunity. And then last but not least is we continue our employee engagement and education through Be Well and our other benefit options. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Yes, Supervisor Stevens.
Hi, thank you for the report. When I was looking over this report in the pamphlet, what is the reason for the actual bill coming out? Was this to address a certain problem we were having, or I just didn't really understand it?
So my understanding is that it was initially brought forth by unions and wanting to address the concern that positions were just being left empty instead of providing potential employment opportunities. And so this is just an oversight, a way to have oversight over those vacancies. Obviously, we, as an agency, don't want vacancies. We want our positions to be filled. We need employees. So we are already working and doing all of these things, like I mentioned, to fill those vacancies as quickly as possible. But we obviously can't control vacancy rates. So, but that's my understanding, is that it was mostly unions just wanting to make sure that there was some oversight, that we aren't just leaving positions empty and with no intention to fill.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. Move on to the next item. Madam Clerk.
Approval of a fiscal year 2024-25 budget transfer, increasing appropriations of the plan check and inspection fees fund by $370,000, offset by the use of restricted fund balance, authorization for the auditor controller to move all accumulated fund balance, including any accrued interest, net of revenues in the fund, to the general fund, declare Fund 0255 inactive, and direct the auditor controller to close the fund once all balances have been moved. Authorization for the auditor controller to establish a committed fund balance in the general fund for dissolution of special districts, make a finding of a public purpose, and approve a budget amendment increasing appropriations in the general fund in the amount of $26,000. To allow for the transfer of funds to Rio Ramaza Community Services District, and authorization for the auditor controller to make adjustments to balance budget transfer 251-00-00197, approved by the Board of Supervisors on May 13th, 2025.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and board members. I'm Laura Granados, Deputy County Administrator, and I'm here to present to you to request to close the Plan Check and Inspections Fees Fund and to find a public purpose and transfer those funds into a special district dissolution to be used as needed. The Plan Check and Inspection Fees Funds was used to hold deposits from developers that supported costs from development services. This fund was established prior to 1997, and there are no establishment documents or former records that exist. All the records would have been destroyed in accordance with the Auditor Controller's record retention policy. So no activity has happened in this fund for the last 14 years except for interest apportionment net of treasury fees. So we can only make suppositions that the work on the respective projects would have been performed and tracked, but charges were not made against the deposits in the special revenue fund. Therefore, general fund paid for or supported all those costs. The balance in this fund as of June 30, 2024 was approximately $300,000. The budget adjustment is higher at $370,000 to ensure sufficient authority to include the full balance plus any accrued interest, none of the treasury fees. So returning these plan check and inspection fees back to the general fund will give your board one-time funds that could be used to support costs of failing community service districts like Rio Ramaza and Waterworks District 1. And if we place those funds in a committed fund balance for special district dissolution, then we can use them as needed. Also included in this staff report is a transfer from that special fund that you're hopefully will just create to Rio Maza because they lack the resources to meet all their operational needs, and this will help them with this one-time fund transfer, and it will help also provide some time while Development Services works with them to find a self-sustaining solution, and we can hopefully find a public purpose to transfer those funds to them.
To the chair.
Yes.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out today and filling in for Steve, of course. That's a huge step, Laura, and I appreciate you bringing this to our in front. And I just wondered, how many houses are in Rio Ramaza, do you know?
Yeah, I think there's 8 homes. And
8
Neil
homes.
is also here to help support with any questions you have.
Okay, so 8 homes, and we're going to pull our wastewater facility out of that program. Is that what we're planning on?
I'll go ahead and defer to Neil.
Okay, Neil, we're planning on pulling what we have there for our district.
So good afternoon, Chair and Supervisor Boone. Yeah, so the existing development, right, was originally a number of lots that were created, and there was a very small wastewater system that was constructed, and the monies that are being allocated are for the continued operation of the, we'll say, community sewer system. It's a very small community. Obviously, I think as the staff report mentions, the residents are paying $55 a month. That's inadequate, right, to cover the cost of the operations. Your board has previously awarded a contract to a consultant operator, Sandbell. It's the same contract operator that we recommended, or consultant operator that we recommended for Robbins, right? So it's the same. So Development Services, yeah, is trying to develop a solution where private septic systems would be constructed for each of the residences. So once you drop below the threshold, then it's no longer the state mandated system. And so there are a number of strategies that our department is looking to use, but the primary one would be to design and construct septic systems for the individual residences, so you wouldn't need a community system. The one challenge with that is that most of the land within this area, so this residential subdivision is located on the south side of Riego Road, almost at Garden Highway. So it's very close to, there's a T intersection there where the levee was rebuilt, very west end and very southwest corner of the county. And most of that property is under the flight path of Sacramento International Airport. So Sacramento County buys up the vacant parcels within the subdivision. So of the individual lots, Sutter County is going to have to partner with Sacramento County to see if they will provide an easement for us to construct a septic system on those vacant lots. They'll never be constructed on. The Sacramento Airport received federal FAA funds for noise issues. So they essentially buy a property so that the jets, right, don't create the noise problem. So we're going to try to reach out to Sacramento County as a way to construct septic systems on the property, service the residences. It'd be just like any other single family home within unincorporated Sutter County that doesn't have utilities, so they rely upon a septic solution.
So approximately, what are we looking at? About 40,000 per home?
We would like to be able to do it for less than that. We're going to try to do some value engineering and some cost cutting and, you know, utilize county forces where possible for certain aspects of it. But then, yeah, we would have it constructed. We're hoping that the soils are sufficient so that we don't have to use a pressure dosing system, which would be more expensive. Most of the residences there are rather small, limited number of bedrooms, which is what typically sizes the septic system. And we would, you know, bring all of that back before your board. You know, the recommended action in order to transfer the funds is to, you know, address an existing fund that's been dormant, quiet for quite some time, and they were collected for development projects. That's what Rio Ramaza was, and so we're just looking to allocate the funds to an appropriate purpose so that we can address this, just the operation and the eventual closure of the sewer system.
So right now, we're planning on moving the 370 into our general fund, and then we'll reallot it back into the Rio Ramaza area for
No, actually,
lines, or-
yeah, we're going to take that 370 or whatever that final number ends up being, and we're going to put it in a committed fund balance just for special district dissolution. And then we'll just use it in parts as we need it. And so like in this one staff report, it'll be the $26,000 just to help them get to where they can be self-sustaining, yeah.
All right, through the chair. So years ago, we put in a system, the county put in a system with development or fees. So these individuals that built these homes there worked off this system, what's no longer working today, but yet we're liable to continue operating the system.
Yes, so previously there were a number of houses. There were more than 10 residences on the property, or I'm sorry, within the development. And so that made it a state mandated system, same threshold as Robbins, right? So it's just that because it was a smaller development than the actual system, it has a pond, it has a pump, it has a collection system, it has underground piping that brings all the sewage to one place and then it's treated.
But going back to, so we're responsible for it. We have to make sure that it functions.
Right, so it's gotten to a point now to where it's below the state threshold, so that if we can come up with a different solution, we would no longer have to operate it to state requirements.
All right, so what you're saying is, like I said, we invest this money in. This is our chance to finally walk away from this, where we don't have any responsibility whatsoever. So 20, 30 years from now, the next board that's up here is not voting to spend more taxpayer money on subdivisions that a developer should have paid for in the first place.
Well, I think the recommended action before you is to, utilize, funds that were collected for development and to appropriate them correctly for this, dissolution of a special district. We're going to come back before your board, Development Services will, with essentially our solution for the community and the sewer system so that, yes, we could get away from having to continually operate this system year after year.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I can probably provide some clarification on this as well.
Okay, please do.
When this was actually created, it was the Rio Ramaza Community Services District that was an independent special district that was formed. What happened was the board of directors essentially dissolved, and the district came back to the county for the sole purpose of winding up the affairs. The problem that we've had is that they sold bonds on this, and so bonds are outstanding. And so for at least the past 15 years, we've been in the process of trying to wind up the affairs of this district. That's the reason why the county now is in the position of handling this small district.
All right, thank you. It sounds like we're cleaning it up, though.
Yeah.
All right.
To the chair, real
Yes,
quick.
Supervisor Boone, go ahead.
With respect to those bonds, do we have an outstanding balance remaining?
The issue that we have is we have money that's owed on those bonds. We actually have the bond book, and we know who they were. Recently, or not recently, probably 8 years ago, we sold a portion of that property, and so money was paid by reason of an eminent domain to take a portion of it. So we have money in an account that's sitting there that really needs to go to the bonds, and we're still in the process of trying to figure out how we address that issue.
So do you have a number on how much we owe the bonds, or how much bond are owed back to the people who purchased them?
I did about 15 years ago when I was last weekend on this. We now, in our office, what we're doing is we have Deborah is working with, I believe that she's getting bond counsel and an accounting firm to address this, to see what we actually have to do to wind up this district.
So if there is some money owed to those investors that purchased those bonds, can we use this 370 to cover that?
Well, that would be, if we were to do that, then we'd be using general fund to pay that money back. And so what we'd be looking to do is the money that came from the sale of that one parcel, that is money that is within the district, and that's funding of the district. Anything other than that would be loaning or giving money for that, giving county money for the payment of those bonds.
So possibly at the next meeting, we can get kind of a number where we're at on that, on how much is owed to those bonds.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're in the process of trying to figure out how to get this to happen. Several years ago, I had the treasurer tax collector trying to figure out how we can do this. He was unable to do it. It's sat for a number of years, and we're just trying to figure out the best way to do this with those outstanding bonds.
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
If there's no further discussion, I'd
Make a motion to approve.
motion. Okay, a motion from Supervisor Ziegelmeier, second from Supervisor Stevens. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Boone,
Aye.
Supervisor Flores,
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeier,
Aye.
Supervisor Baines,
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to the next item.
Approval to fund the fiscal year 2023-24 felony incompetent to stand trial growth cap penalty in the amount of $229,500 with one-time public safety realignment 2011 funds for payment to the Department of State Hospitals for the fine amount of $229,500. Authorization to establish a new cost center, unfunded state programs in the general fund, administration fund for new state unfunded costs, approval of a budget adjustment to the fiscal year 2025-26 tentatively approved budget, increasing appropriations and other charges and operating transfer in the amount of $229,500 within the unfunded state programs budget. Incompetent to stand for trial program, offset by an operating transfer out and cancellation of the fund balance of $229,500 within public safety realignment 2011 budget, and approval of a submission of the Sutter Connect startup costs as a proposal for an amount equivalent to the fine amount of $229,500 for implementation of the county's diversion plan to the Department of State Hospitals.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Jamie.
Jamie Yang, Deputy County Administrator. Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and board members. The incompetent to stand trial penalty payment has been a recurring topic in this year's budget presentations, as you're aware. In July of 2023, your board approved a $500,000 five-year agreement with the state at $100,000 each year to convene a collaborative stakeholder work group to focus on developing local strategies to reduce the number of felony IST individuals who would otherwise be transferred to state hospitals for competency restoration. Department of State Hospital set a cap of 15 placements for Sutter County. In fiscal year 23-24, we exceeded this baseline by 4, resulting in a $229,500 penalty. DSH will return the full penalty amount once a diversion plan is approved and annual reporting requirements are met. So staff explored interest from CSAC, RCRC, and CASE in pushing back on the penalty, but there was very little to no interest. As DSH has the legal authority to impose fines and could withhold other county funds for non-payment. The fine will not impact the general fund for this current fiscal year. On August 14 of this year, the CCP approved using 2011 public safety realignment funds as a one-time payment. However, future fines remain possible, as this is considered an unfunded state program. To prepare, we recommend establishing a new cost center, unfunded state programs, cost center 1106, so that we can better track these costs and demonstrate the type of burden that these type of costs is having on the county. To meet state requirements and recover the penalty amount, we propose Sutter Connect. It's a pilot diversion program for up to 5 probation-connected individuals with complex health and behavioral needs, developed with support from a collaborative of county departments and court administration. If approved, the county will submit the payment to DSH for the fine amount, and the Auditor Controller's Office will process the budget amendment as the payment is due this week. In addition, the county will submit the Sutter Connect startup costs as a proposal for an amount equivalent to the fine amount of $229,500 for implementation of the county's diversion plan. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. We do have members of the collaborative stakeholder work group here to help answer questions as well.
Okay, thank you, Jamie. Before I come back to the board, are there any public comments? Okay, there being no public comments, Supervisor Stevens.
Yeah, Jamie, if I understand right, and I hadn't heard this before, we will eventually get those funds back?
That is correct.
It's a fine, but we're getting it back if we do all the right things.
That is correct.
This whole thing is crazy to me. So tell me about the 15 people. How did we come up with Sutter County gets 15? Why not Sutter County getting 20, or why not 30? How do they come up with that?
Thank you so much, Supervisor. Sarah Eberhardt-Rios, your Health and Human Services Director. And so typically these folks are identified all along through the legal process, and they have a doubt that is raised on their competency to stand trial. And so they need to be restored to competency. They can be restored via an early restoration program that's operating in the jail currently called EASE. If they are not restorable and they've committed a felony offense, it is the Department of State Hospitals' responsibility to do that competency restoration. And so those folks that are not restorable in the early restoration program are then referred to the Department of State Hospital for admittance and consideration. So it kind of is identified through that process, ultimately, typically through jail medical.
So our jail medical comes up with that 15 count, or is Sacramento allowing us only 15? I'm not understanding.
Oh, I'm sorry. So let me clarify. Thank you for that additional question.
Okay.
So the cap itself actually was identified by the Department of State Hospitals. So they used a formula which counties did not agree with to determine the cap of 15.
Is there any way we can raise our cap so we don't get this fine in the future, or because we have the people we have. We can't change the fact that we have, criminals out there doing the things that they're doing and everything. So we're just stuck with where we got to pay the state a fine if we have more people.
So we have a lot of advocacy that we're trying to put in place through CSAC and RCRC to see if the state will work with us to reconsider the caps. So far, they have not reconsidered the cap, and so I think we're going to continue with our advocacy, unfortunately.
this is wrong. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this is something we've been dealing with now for over a year now, and we knew this day was going to come. I mean, we've been talking about it. I've been on the behavioral health board for the last 5 out of the last 6 years, and it's a joke. How does the state set their numbers? You can't just set numbers because every county's different, but no one knows what's going to happen in the future. The number could be 20, it could be 30, it could be 40. We don't know. We just hope for the best. We hope that individuals don't have to go through this. But yet they come down to the counties and say, we're going to fine you because your numbers that you don't control. No one controls this. This is that individual because your numbers hit that. That is wrong. And I'm upset with CSAC for not supporting us on this. Not enough people support the behavioral health and what's going on. They don't understand the funding that is being cut. It's like the finish line keeps on getting moved, and every time they get a grip on stuff, it keeps on getting moved and saying, hey, we're not going to fund this, or we're going to fine you because you filled up these beds that are uncontrollable by who's running behavioral health. It's not fair. Shame on the state. It's something we have to do. We should send a letter saying that, you know what, it's wrong. It's not right. And I know a lot of rural counties feel the exact same way. Ask Sarah. She talks with all their organizations. They all feel this way. I'm surprised that we tried to get people to go on board with us to support us on this, but people are too afraid of the state.
We'd be happy to write a letter and draft that for the board's review for submission.
To the chair. Yes. Yeah, Sarah, this 229,000, is that coming out of our general fund?
No, it's not. It's going to be coming out of the CCP funds, so Community Corrections Partnership Funds, so Public Safety Realignment.
So then that was the $4 million, is it coming out of that budget?
No, it is not. It is a totally separate budget.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, through the chair, but to my point is that funding comes out of and that's going to affect other funding.
It is still local county funding, the CCP. So yes, you are correct.
Okay, any further discussion? Then I would entertain a motion. I would also encourage whoever makes the motion to add the letter idea to
I make a motion to approve with the letter.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a first by Supervisor Ziegemeier, second. No, I said in addition.
In addition.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really clear about it. He said with the letter, so. So we have a motion and then a second, and we will do a roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens?
Oppose. The letter, yes.
So he's in favor of writing the letter, but not the other portion, so what's?
Yeah, it would still be a no, but it passes.
It'll be a no,
because
okay,
there's
thank you,
4 or
so.
5.
Motion carries. Thank you for the presentation. I don't have any other comments on that, so now we're going to move on to the next item, which is follow-up reports and announcements. And Laura, do you have any comments?
Nope, we don't have any comments at this time.
Great, thank you for filling in today. We miss our CAO Smith, but we're happy to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and then I'll move to comments from the supervisors, and we'll start over on this side today. Supervisor Boone.
I don't have anything to bring to the board today. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Supervisor Boone. Supervisor Baines.
Nothing to report.
Okay, nothing to report. Supervisor Ziegemeier.
Nothing to report, just good luck to all the teams playing tonight and Friday night. I mean, there was some big wins for our local sports teams Friday night on the football fields. That's it. Have a great week.
All right, thank you, Supervisor Ziegemeier. Supervisor Stevens.
Yeah, just one thing. Yesterday, I had the honor of going out and presenting a proclamation to Darrell Wilson. He was somebody that had worked for the county for, I think, over 40 years, he said. And his grandson got in touch with me that he had passed away, and he was very instrumental in starting the Tudor-Walton Fire Department. And there's nobody here from the fire department, but I'd just like to extend my thanks to them, they put together 2 trucks. They got the father of the deceased brought him in with his ashes, and they just did a really super job. And I heard several of the family members just talk about how really cool it was. So I just wanted to say thank you to the fire department for doing that.
Thank you. Did you want to request recognition from this board, or did they already got it received? Okay, great.
Through the chair, sorry. I was going to wait, but I'll just do it. Let's close in memory and send a letter to Bobby LeBrew's family of Sutter and Lee Trainham of Arbuckle.
All right, thank you, Supervisor. I have one request, and that would be a request for a plaque recognizing Steve Marshall for 20 years of volunteer service to the Elections Department for Sutter County. So make that request, then I'd entertain a motion.
Second.
Okay, first by Supervisor Bain, second by Supervisor Ziegemeier. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Closed session.
What did I miss?
Closed session.
No, there's no closed session. There is no closed session. No. All right, everybody, thank you for coming. Take care. Yeah, take it easy.